Hey everybody, welcome to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is also parting with one of my favorite guns. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, that's right, and it's not me parting with it, it's actually a friend, I would say a lost friend. Not really a lost friend, because we're still friends, but if you guys don't know, Thunder Kiss Northwest, one of the local shops here in town, there's actually 3 great local shops here in the Portland, Oregon area. Unfortunately, Bill, who owns Thunder Kiss Northwest, is closing the doors. Now, if you guys know, I did a review on a Thunder Kiss custom gun that was built specifically for Airsoftology. It is kind of a DMR style. It takes M4 mags, M4 platform, custom built from the ground up with their parts. Not based on any other gun. Custom paint job with my logo and everything all over it. And I only felt it was right after using this gun and having it for a while that I hand it back as kind of a way to help him close the store and do a giveaway. So long story short, he is going to be doing a giveaway on that, and I'll have a link down below if you guys want to enter that. I think it's like a raffle type setup or something like that. So definitely go check it out. I think it's kind of like a Kickstarter, but I guess the Kickstarter would be a closed starter. But anyway, yeah, I'll have a link for that in the description below. So if you guys want to get a hold of that gun, which by the way is every bit of like a high 200s accurate shooter, like mid 250 foot monster. It's insane. But yeah, anyway, I digress on that. Also, if you guys, you've been hitting the web store, oh my goodness, thanks a bunch. But if you guys didn't know, I'm starting to get my patches out into stores. Something super exciting to talk about here. And the first store to pick up the Airsoftology patches, the line I have, is Airsoft Barracks in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, if you guys know, I'm running almost out. I'm like dead, almost empty of the corgis. I think there's like that guy right there over my shoulder. But they are almost gone, but I know they have some at Airsoft Barracks in Jacksonville. I've got a few left on the web store, and of course the new t-shirts. A lot of big stuff going on there. Aside from that, not much going on here for games this week. I'm working on my spring schedule, so stay tuned on that. I think I'll have an announcement maybe next week or the following week on what we're gonna do in the spring for events. So you guys, if you wanna meet me at a game or event or somewhere like that, definitely do it. I do know I have something planned in Missouri, and that's gonna be like a month from now, a month and a half, so I'll give you a little tease on that one. Anyway, enough of that, let's get into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Ben Theodore writes, hey John, I heard you needed to break in mid-cap mags. Is that true or just an airsoft myth? For me, I've never broke in a mid-cap mag. I mean, I'll test them to make sure they work, before I go and like trust them for a long Milsim game. But for breaking in, not really. I think the only one that I would say there's some sort of breaking in period would be the PTS EPMs, just because if you fill them all the way to the top, I mean, like jam them all the way up, sometimes those first few BBs will get, it's so much under so much tension, they won't feed in certain guns. So what I'll do is I'll short load those for, like 4 or 5 loads. And then after that, the spring's kind of worn in, everything's nice and happy and good in there, and everything's good. There is a maintenance required with mid-cap mags. After a while, you get gunk and dirt and all that. You're gonna wanna take that spring out, do some cleaning, maybe a touch of lubing in there and all that. I've talked about that in previous episodes. In fact, I'm gonna make a video on kind of your basic training things here for Airsoft. So that'll be one I'll add to the list about how to do mid-cap maintenance and of course high-cap maintenance to help you guys out. Joe Muir writes, hey Jonathan, what's your opinion on the Lancer Tactical's M82 Sniper? So that is the big Barrett, but not Barrett since they don't have the license. M82 sniper rifle. That one, it is in its current state, I'll be really candid with you, Lancer with their Lonex internal guns, which is some of the new stuff they're coming out with. They started, I think about 1.5 years ago, or 2 years even, with some Lonex projects, and they've continued that internally. Those are really well-made guns. I mean, high-end Lonex internals, I mean, for the price, are really good. They also have some really unique ones that they distribute under the Lancer name, like some PPS H41s, things like that. Those are really cool too. But the Barrett, it's such a budget gun, it's not the best in its stock form. That said, it is the perfect candidate because it's super light. I mean, it's incredibly lightweight. It's not made of metal, so it's easy to have this monster freaking sniper rifle running around the battlefield. But what's really cool about it is you can do like a total gut and redo inside with all the internals. But what I would do is I would HPA it. Since it's an AEG on the inside, it is ripe for the pickings for a Fusion engine drop-in or like a Jack or something like that if you want to go Polar Star or Wolverine, like an Inferno or something like that. It is ready. I mean, ready for that. So for me, I would say yes. I would look at that if you guys want to go an HPA route and have that thing just tuned up to your field limits for sniper rifles, lock it so it's semi-auto, and get that freaking huge, awesome sniper rifle experience. But in a stock form, it's not honestly one of the best offerings you're gonna find from Lancer. They have a lot of great guns. That one externally is cool. As a donor gun, I think is awesome. And if you want something just fun, I mean, for the price point, it's not terrible. Pick it up anyway. I mean, I think it's really cool. I mean, I've been wanting one myself, and I might even keep it in stock just for the sake of it. But if you guys are looking for something like a daily driver, you're just gonna beat the crud out of that gun, well, kind of look around for maybe some other options, potentially. OC Airsoft writes, with more World War II guns, will we be seeing some World War II based era Milsim winky face? I think so. Little birdie told me, I don't think it's actually super secret anymore, but Milsim West might be working on a World War II themed event. So typically when the Milsim guys, like the event promoters, start putting on those events, like at that Milsim level, you're gonna see it start to trickle back down. And of course, like you said, there's a lot more guns that are World War II based coming out right now. Some manufacturers that are cranking out some of those that just, I think probably has some of the better historical weapons. G&G is one of them by far. ICS has some really cool stuff that kind of spans the ages as well. There's some really good companies in Taiwan, I think, that are pumping out some awesome historical weapons. In fact, when I was over there, their kit, their World War II impression game is absolutely on point. I mean, I was mind blown. In fact, I'm gonna try to find some photos for you guys and put them up here in the corner to show you what I found over there. I mean, they had some old Vietnam era stuff, like these guys were like seal impression to the T. I mean, like absolutely nailing it. Then they had some World War II stuff that was just unbelievable, the level of detail they were doing. And this was at the camo show last year in Taiwan that G&G brought me over to. So anyway, yeah, I'll really hopeful too as well. I think that's good. I know Greg Wong, if you guys don't follow him, Spartan117GW, AKA Greg Wong, is really big in the World War II reenactment. He's got a video project he's been working on that's World War II related right now, so I think that's due out anytime soon. You know, he's got a teaser on his channel as well. I think a lot of people are getting hyped, especially Battlefield 1. I know it's pre-World War II as World War I, but I think it's got people thinking more about historical. So with that in mind, yes, the answer is that you'll definitely see it at Milsim level, I'm sure, and then I think you're gonna see it trickle down at the fields and hopefully some small games around where people are doing some World War II-ish type stuff. Hurricane Cuber writes, what's the most overlooked good airsoft gun? So if you watch the channel here with me, you know I'm pretty almost against saying, oh, this is the gun or this is not the gun. I'm very cautious about saying what's the best gun for this or what's the best gun for that. I'm like, oh, it's absolutely this. But in my opinion, right now, I think one of the most overlooked guns out there that performs incredibly, I mean, absolutely incredibly, that I think so many people just glaze over, look past, and never pay attention to, because typically people start with this gun, but a different brand or a different version of it, and it's kind of their beginner gun, and then they go off and they end up in the M4 world or the AK world, is the KWA G36 that Umarex / Elite Force distributes here in the United States and overseas, the licensed version. I absolutely think when you're talking about one of the most underrated airsoft guns, meaning that not many people run it, you don't see it that often out in fields, because most people buy like the competition level G36s, which are good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. And you see those, and it used to be a long time ago before the licensing really locked everything down. There were a ton of G36 because everybody had one. But a lot of people start with the G36 and they move on to something else like an M4 because their teammates are playing and they can change mags and all that with their friends, or AK in that matter. But I really think the KWA one is absolutely incredible. I did a review on it like years ago, and I still hold true to that saying. I'd say it's probably one of the best underrated guns, if not the best underrated gun in airsoft right now, and it has been for years. So if you want to kind of find that hidden gem, something that shoots really good, short, it's compact, it still works, punches way above its weight class, when it comes to performance, take a look at the KWA version of the G36. It's a little more pricey than the other G36s. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that KWA quality, but I still think that's one of the better ones out there. All right, guys and gals, that is it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headset's video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from a channel, I don't know how I haven't watched it yet. But I saw one of his comments actually below the sniper video I did last week. So it's below the Mondays. Like I always tell you guys, I read every question every single week. I saw one of his comments, and I have a little app. I don't know if you guys noticed when I do my little screen captures before each of the questions here in the preview section, you always see like a little subscriber count. You see like some other details. That's an app I use that adds some more information for me on YouTube to help kind of look at some things, and it gives me some stats and stuff like that for my benefit. But what it also does is show you sub count numbers. And I was looking, I was like, wow, this guy's got like 12,000 subscribers or 12,500 or something like that. Who is this? Airsoft CamMan, and actually a really good channel, one that I haven't seen. Great, so you get some sniper footage in there, a little bit of that, a lot of AEG shooting, plays a ton of games, a lot of gameplay, a good mix on the channel, and this is his highlight reel from 2016. It's kind of like his channel showcase video, and I just started watching it and look, it's actually long, but it goes by so quick because it's really entertaining. He mixes in a good little chunk of humor, which I love. It's that little bit of subtle kind of, I don't know, it's my flavor of humor. I call it dad jokes. That kind of just that real easy, low-hanging fruit, just bad humor, but good humor at the same time. And I just really enjoyed watching it. So this one actually definitely earned that sub-mash button for me this week. It was when I discovered, and I figured, hey, if I like that, I want to share it with you guys as well. Also, by the way, real quick, I noticed some of the comments below about helping me out with this Monday's video, with the video of the week. If you guys have some great channels, yours included, make sure to kind of point them out for me down there. I love to check them out. In fact, I do use that app to kind of see, you know, I like to watch the channels that are maybe like at 300, 400, 500 subscribers, where you've kind of got like a little bit of a following. You've got maybe a local kind of thing going where your local people are watching you, and you've got some fans, and you've kind of got a good backlog. For me, what I'm looking for, if you guys are curious, before we jump on into the end of the show here, is I'm looking for consistency in uploads. So if you put up like 1 or 2 videos and then you've waited 4 months, and then you put up another one, and then you waited 2 months and you put up 3, and then you haven't been active for 3 more months, it's probably not going to be a channel I'm going to want to like really share, because I want to make sure that, you know, these are active channels, and we give people who are being active on YouTube, who are putting the time in, the effort is what I would love to give back to you guys. But if, you know, even if you only have like 100 subscribers, but if you're putting a video up, let's say every 2 weeks, it's like, okay, I'm doing once every 2 weeks of my video count, or once every 3 weeks even, but you're being consistent. Those are the channels I really want to look for and help share, because I mean, I get it. Trust me, this is hard work doing YouTube, and putting out 3 videos a week, or even 1 a week, is very difficult and time consuming if you have something else to do. So anyway, yeah, if you guys have a channel, or you know of a channel that I haven't talked about, or somebody you want to just kind of see get some love, I am more than happy. I want to start, you know, continue. Well, I really continue, because I've been doing this, giving back to the airsoft community and making sure we keep this YouTube thing growing for all of us here. There's tons of content to watch out there, and I'd love to share it with you guys. And on that note, you know what? It's time to wrap up the show. And as always, thank you so very much for hanging out here with me every single Mondays and asking some fantastic questions, helping out down in the comment section below, and making this kind of its own little community, this little forum kind of every single week, so we can all hang out together as one big group of airsoftologists. I guess we could all be airsoftologists, right? That's a good thing. And just hang out and chat and kind of learn more about airsoft, because I mean, heck, I've been doing this for a long time and still learning. But anyway, enough of me talking about that. Again, thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to put those comments and questions down there, like, sub, all the good stuff if you felt like this video deserved it. And until next week, go out, have some fun, play some airsoft. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.